Hello, my beautifuls, beautifuls, beautifuls. Welcome to Runes 101 with yours truly. Okay, I'm sorry I had to do a video on this. It was just a little easier because I'm literally doing a video every week up until rune casting. So rune casting will be live, just so you know. But we're going to do a video where you can review it over and over again. You can take your notes, you can do your own research on it, but I want you to get slightly familiar with the runes because, well, you gotta know what you're talking about when you do rune casting, right? You don't want to just to cast. No, we don't do that here. We are going to connect with our runes, okay? So, if you have runes, and these are just a few of them, these are the ones we're working with today, but if you have runes, I want you to carry them with you, if you haven't already. If you just got runes, say because you participated in the box exchange, these are now your soul, your energy in these runes. It's not someone else's. It's not like cards, okay? It's not like these cards that we're gonna go through today, all right? They're not like oracles. They're not like tarot. It's different, okay? Someone speaks through these, okay? Whether you use it as the energy level speaks through it, but it's someone else's adaptation to this, okay? But these are instilled with your energy, okay? You're connecting with the gods of old, okay? Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that, and that's totally fine. Remember, we use our own adaptation. And in this video, we're going to use my adaptation of it and see if you like it. I keep it basic, I keep it simple. You can always keep going a little deeper into things, but we're going to make these part of our soul, okay? Because I love runes. And I've only gotten stronger with them because of Loki. And maybe I'll throw a little picture of why I can associate so well with Loki and why he is called to me above all the others. But the runes are my connection, okay, to the gods of the old, okay? So yes, I'm a heathen. There's nothing wrong with being a heathen, is there? Okay, so one thing you need to remember about runes is that they're guiding you through your own problems. They're showing you likely what's going to happen or what has already happened, just like tarot and oracle, okay? But these are based more on you. So I always feel it's harder to read someone else, but I can read me. Now you can read someone else with your runes, just so you know, but let me give you a little clause, and I really hope people drop comments in this video post, okay? And this is why I say that. Do not let someone else take and touch your runes or cast with your runes. It is not the same as these. This is your soul. This is your energy, okay? Energy you can clean and cleanse. Can you cleanse your soul? Okay? I have always been made to believe and taught that you do not let anyone touch your runes. And I mean as in casting them. Some people want to look at them and say, oh, they're so pretty, that's fine. I could cleanse out one rune. But to have all of your runes, it's like having your soul in their hands. And I don't let anyone touch my soul or my energy, okay? Or both. It's just a personal thing. But I do hardly feel that, because if you make your own runes, the original way of making your own runes is you actually put your own blood into them. It is your life essence being tapped into it. Do you want anyone to have your essence? Oh, no. I don't think so. At least not for me. Okay. The biggest thing is remember to listen to your inner voice on these, okay? You have to feel comfortable. You can't not feel comfortable using these. And I will say this too, and again, please someone drop and reassure me or call me stupid and crazy, and I'm fine with that. I might get slightly salty for 30 seconds, not gonna lie, but I love opinions and I love everyone's viewpoints, but tell me that if this is not correct. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. I think I was meant to banish that. So apparently that's a good thing, because I might have offended someone somewhere. But that's okay. So, the gods are doing me right today. So yeah, so if you're getting runes, just know they are your inner voice, okay? They're your connection to that higher power, whether you called Odin using them, or Loki, or Freya, you know, even though Freya has her own very specific type of divination method, but you can call any of these gods to pull from these. Odin is the biggest one because of the Odin rune, but I utilize them for Odin and Loki, and that's my personal, okay? So one big thing with all these beautiful runes here, okay, is I love the ones, let's see if I can get it to clear up. Okay, so apparently it doesn't want to clear up, but on them, they are engraved and painted with a little bit of gold. I do not like the ones that have the stickers on them that have the runes, because I always feel they're gonna fall off. My personal experience. Another thing is I have an issue with completely like squared off runes, so I won't. I'll always pull to the ones that are slightly off, and they're not all the same. So let me show you. None of them are the same shape, the same size. Like, they're all different. They have bumps and grooves all through them on purpose. This one's like almost completely rounded, you know? Oh, come here, Feu. Ooh. He's trying to run. This is the Feu clean. So, yeah. So I always get the ones that they're all different, because when I cast them, it makes it so much easier. And I know that I'm letting the will of the gods, like, come down on them. So that's one of the biggest things I do with that. Another thing, when it comes to runes, please make sure, now I follow the Elder Futhark, okay? Let's see if it's it. Futhark? Yes, Futhark. I follow the Elder Futhark, where there are 24 runes plus one blank one, which is the Odin rune. So there should be 25 runes. So if you get runes and they were gifted, count them and make sure you have 24 that actually have symbols on them, and then one blank one, okay? And that's just because I'm following the Germanic Elder Futhark when it comes to divination, which there's younger Futhark, and there's another one too, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to create runes, and I have never created my own runes, maybe there's someone that has and we can utilize them to do them for you, but there is a little chant they always like to say when it comes to creating your own. Oops, I dropped one. Isa, come back. That is really good to say when you're creating them, and this is one way that I say about life force being so important, and how your soul is attached to these runes when they're yours, is this is why. I'm going to read you the chant that usually people should say when they're creating it and anointing it with their own blood, because it's their own essence, but this is it. So, runes are living things. By carving the rune, you give it senses. By coloring it, you give it the hue of life. By chanting its name, you give it breath, okay? Another thing, if you want to create your own runes, and you have, always pay attention to the type of wood you use, if you use wood, or the crystal you use, or the stones you use. There's a lot of different types, or the bones you use, because that's gonna be my one thing, is I'm finding the perfect bones with carved runes on it, so I can get my osteomancy and my runes at the same time. I'm so excited. So that's my newest thing, is finding those. But that's on the side note. But yes, essence. Okay, it's your life force. They're your life. Cleanse them. Don't clean them, because you don't know, you know, there are certain stones that are not good with water, so please don't run them through water if you're gonna use some type of like moon water, storm water, sun water, anything like that. But incense is good. Running it over a flame is really good. Take them with you. Take them everywhere you go. They're yours. Like, this is you. This is your soul in here. That's how I look at it. That's how passionate. Can you tell how passionate it is? Like, if you watch my Oracle Live last year, you were in our other group, Alice Cauldron. You've seen how passionate I was about the cards, right? The cards were everything about the cards. It's all about the cards, what they look like, how you make them feel, how you can pull the things out of them. They had pictures, you know, in a lot of them, so I can pull like where I see things that I normally don't see with something else, right? These, it's a stone, guys, okay, with a symbol. Like, you're pulling so much heart from this, you know, that I should probably grab Esau's, because she's on the floor. She's gonna make me really mad. She's gonna be really mad at me. But like, you know, Feu, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a symbol, okay? So it does take a little bit of memorization as far as like the basics of it. But once you get like, you know, like Feu, cattle means, you know, wealth, success, power, you know, you can then pull more from that, okay? You can really dig deep and really just look at the other runes when we learn casting. And I'll show you different ways to learn how to cast and how you can depict it, because there's thousands of ways, you know? You use mat, you don't have to use a mat, you can use a cloth, you can use cloth that has symbols on it, you can use one that doesn't. I mean, shit, it is what it is. Some put it in a bag and, you know, throw them, and others put them in a wooden bowl and, you know, we'll throw them. So another little side thing, if you get runes, figure out which way you want to cast them with a bowl, a wood bowl, bag, in your hand, drop, pull from the bag a handful, pull from a bowl a handful. There's so many different ways. I'm so excited. I can't wait to teach you runes. I'm so glad that someone persuaded me to do runes, because I am passionate about runes. But I always think that there's someone out there that knows more than me. So I'll be the first to admit that. I always do think someone's out there that knows more. But are we ready? I mean, are we ready, guys, to start learning the meaning of the runes are? Because I'm ready. Hope you're ready. All right, guys, so here we go. I have 3 cards laid to start. We're gonna work on 3, and then another 3, and then 2. Remember, we're only doing 8 today. Next week we'll do another 8, and the following week we'll be doing 9. So here we go. So the first rune we're going to look at is going to be Fehu. All right, so Fehu is, technically the word itself means cattle. So if you want to look at it, and this is the easiest way for me to remember what Fehu really means, is cattle usually is raised on a ranch. Ranch costs money, it's wealthy, and not a lot of really poor people have large amounts of cattle. So I always associate it with wealthy, power, okay? Money, success. You could use it as energy as well. Another big one though would be destruction as well, because without that cattle, it would be nothing. The ranch would turn into ruins. So that's how I associate Fehu, okay? So here's the rune for it, and let me show you. Don't mind my fat fingers. Fehu. So this is my rune for it, all right? So I'll put him here, okay? Oh, as he turns backwards. Okay. Are we ready for the next one? All right, our next one, here we go, is Uruz. Now, I always roll my R's. It's something I've always been doing since technically I learned how to speak Spanish, just un poco. But it's Uruz. I hope it makes sense. Okay, so you can look at this one as a strength card. You can look this one at strength, I'm trying to remember here, courage, some skill. You can look at it as an initiation as well, because back then you had to be tested by your fellow Vikings. You had to be put through trials to see if you were man enough or woman enough to venture into battle. So this is a form of strength and courage skill. But if you want to look at it on a spiritual meaning, I guess you can sit there and say that's more of like a soul shaping kind of card, or a spiritual progress type of card as well, okay? But it's definitely a determination card, because I think of it as I'm not gonna say a trial card, because it's not, it's a strength card, it's a skill card. But I always associate it with like, you have to be an anchor for yourself, okay? You have to be strong. You have to be able to adapt and move on through things. So that's how I associate urus, okay? Let me show you the rune of this beautiful one. There you go. So there's my urus, okay? On there. And our last one of our 3 card is Torizaz. So Torizaz, or Tor-i-zaz. It means giant, okay? Now, how I associate the meaning of the word itself, giant, is I associate it based off of obstacles, okay? Because I think of James and the Giant Peach story in a way, or, you know, Jack and the Beanstalk, where he had to climb up the beanstalk and then had to face a giant, right? So it's obstacles. He had to find, what was that, I believe the golden goose egg, if I'm not mistaken, in the myth. But, so obstacles, difficulties, okay? So that's one way I can associate giant with part of the divination meaning. But this card also represents a type of protection, though, as well. A stubbornness, a pride. There's vanity usually in it, too. Well, I'm having a total brain fart right now. Heroic adventures, or heroic effort, you can say. Patience, even. Spiritual courage. That would be a really good one to think about, too, with this one, because like you go through your obstacles and difficulties, you have a form of courage afterwards. So you could kind of flow all 3 of those into there. Be like, if you only pull like 1 or 2 runes for someone or yourself, and you get this, you can say like, hey, you know, I have obstacles I need to be going through or have gone through, and it's been very difficult. And from that difficult, I now feel stronger in my spiritual self, okay? I feel just very courageous. And one last thing with this one, which you could tell by this actual card itself, is that it is a protection of the sacred card. So if you're doing a spiritual only reading and not an actual personal self-preservation type of meaning, I would definitely use that as a protection of the sacred. So if you pull this rune, know that he or she is protecting you. She is with you. So here is Torizaz rune. See, wait. Okay, so you can kind of see it. I know it's kind of muffled and glared because it hates me. Okay, so that is our first 3. And here is going to be our next 3. You ready? All right. Our next one. Ooh, I love this card. Okay, so this is Raido, or Raitho, or some people say, or Raidio, but it's pronounced and looks almost identical to radio, as people like to look at it on a quick glance, but it's Raido, TH, Raitho. I guess that's a better way of saying it. Slower. I say it a little quick, and I guess it's just because I've been saying it for a little bit longer than I realized. Okay, so this one represents like a journey, a form of travel. That's actually what Raido actually means in its breakdown. Now, the divination of it means more of like a change, maybe a change in direction or a movement, possibly like even, I always like to associate this with like, you need to go on a journey to kind of like relocate yourself, maybe start something new, something fresh. If you're looking at it from a spiritual journey too, then you can look at it as that, as what I just said, like a spiritual journey or a personal, like maybe destination. Like you have to break those bad habits, the old habits, and start new, start fresh. But you need to go on a journey to do it. Like it's not just gonna come. You have to uproot, you have to break things, change things. So this is definitely a change kind of card. Okay, so here's the rune for, let me pull it out of my group here, for Raido. She's beauty. So it's definitely like a change kind of card. So the next card we're gonna look at is I always say this one wrong. Kanyaz. There we go. Kanaz. I always say this one wrong. I don't really know why, but it's Kanaz. So Kanaz, and it means torch. Okay, hence the actual oracle itself, right? So I always associate with the fire meaning. Okay, so again, you can always look up your own how you want to look at it, but I definitely associate with a lot of fire energy, a lot of fire power. So it's a lot of creativity, it's a lot of success, it's a lot of controlled energy too, it's a lot of healing, it's a lot of sexual attraction. That's another big one a lot of people don't realize is passion is in any type of fire. So sexual type of tendencies or sexual, you know, perks or disadvantages can come with this card depending on how you want to read it. A lot of knowledge, so it's a great knowledge card, you know, skill card as well, so it's another type of skill. I guess if you want to look at it a bad way, you can look at it as a painful healing maybe, illuminating that pain. You can also just look at it as a spiritual illumination. And then I do like to associate on a spiritual side as an inner guidance. So it could be definitely a guidance card. So I hope that one helped. And let me show you what Kanaz looks like. So there's Kanaz's rune. And I can't wait to actually work with these guys, with the rune casting at the end of the month. Okay, the next one of these cards, or runes I should say, is Isaz. So I love Isa. All right, Isa is beautiful. It is what I consider the Ice Queen card, and that's exactly what it is. Though it is an meaning. The card, the name itself is ice. Okay, so Isa. There's different ways you can say it. I've literally listened to a woman who is Scandinavian and she pronounces it Isa, but I always pronounce it Isaz. Like there's an S or something at the end, but again, that's your own discretion. But it does mean ice, and I consider this my Ice Queen card. So, which is really funny because I put my torch card, my fire card, and my ice card together. Fitting for me, isn't it? And I didn't even realize I did that till just now. Okay, so if you're looking at a divination side of things, I would definitely associate this with frustration of plans, all right? Frozen stillness, inner stillness, at a standstill in life, major obstacles too. I think of it like an ice shield being blocking your path, like you got to chip away at it. It could also tell you that because of this ice shield, this is time for you to rest. It's imposing a type of rest, like it's saying, hey, you ain't going anywhere. You need to stop, okay? You need to step back and breathe because you're just getting too frustrated with things. You can look at this as a surrender card or an acceptance card. So like I said, if you're looking at it like a wall of ice in front of you, you can accept it and realize, okay, I need to change something. Or you can just surrender to it, which in turn means the same thing, but surrender, in my opinion, kind of means you're giving up. You're handing over the reins, like, all right, take me in, soldier. I guess I'm going to prison, you know, and I don't think of it that way. So it's an acceptance to change, in my opinion. And let me get you the rune. And there she is, Izaz. Okay, so there's those three. Raido, Kenyas, and Isa. Let me take these down and I'll get you our last two. Okay, so our last two, here we go, is all yees. All yees. Okay? Well, I guess I should move my crystals so you can actually see them, since I'm only using two in this one. So all yees is a very strong protection. And if you're actually looking at the symbol itself, and here, I'll even bring him up, okay? So you see the symbol, right? This symbol, if you've watched TikTok, if you've watched movies and any type of Viking type of movies, you will always see this symbol on someone's head. It's either this one or it's gonna be the next one that you're gonna watch, okay? All yees is a great and heavy protection, okay? So there's what he looks like, the card, just because it's really cool. It's a sanctuary, okay? You could even associate this with prayer, if you look at it that way, trust, friendship, all right? But if you want to look at it on the mystical side, and I do look at this as a great connection to the gods themselves, but I would definitely associate this with a communication to the divine, all right? Even your guardian spirit can be that. You can look at it as if you're in a, you believe in the fates too. So I would consider this a fate card. And I look at it more because of the 3 lines that it has, the 3 tips, right? I look at it as the 3 fates. So again, you can use that as a connection to them. And another big thing with this too is if you're looking at cosmic type of energy, it could be a protectant of that, or an absorbent maybe of that. I hope I said that right. An absorbent. I'm trying to make sure I don't mess up my words, guys, because I didn't write all this out. I guess I should have written this out, but I'm kind of going off of my belief system to help you kind of depict how you would like to represent each of the runes, okay? But even a friendship too. So friendship in battle. But it's a sanctuary card, okay? So when you see this on someone in the movies, they're using it as their way of communicating with the spirit realm or their guardians or the gods themselves to help protect them, okay? So it's not a complete battle card, but it's the pre-effects of. I hope that helps. So let me get I'll use his rune. Here you go. So there's his rune. Okay. And our last card, guys, is my absolute favorite card, Tiwaz. And the easiest way to pronounce this one is if you break it up into T, like T-E-A, T, which is my favorite thing of all times, and then Waz, Tiwaz, okay? Now, this is the victory card, okay? This is an honor, this is a justice, law, a form of balance. Think of, you know, the justice scales, okay? This is that. This is the justice. This is I'm going into battle for victory, for honor, all right? It's a self-sacrificing type of card as well. Righteousness, all right? You even can look at it as a spiritual purity card. Maybe even selflessness. You know, you're giving up your possible life to go into battle, okay? So that's very selfless of you. So selflessness. I mean, that's big. I can't even add to that one at all because that is literally how I depict it in a whole. And because I love this one so much, I do want to read you what the oracle card of this one says, just because it's just absolutely gorgeous. So let me get him. They put these in order. All right, here we go. So I love this little quote that they put in here, but it says, I step forward knowing that it is not all about what is for me, but what is right for all. My will I focus. What is new will flourish. My actions are louder than words. I am Tiwaz. Okay? Yeah. Now, one thing I will, oh, hold on. I cannot forget to show you his rune. How dare I? And this actually goes with the god itself that is associated with this, which is, you know, what they considered the battle god. There's a lot of different pronunciations of his name. It can be Tyr, Tyr, T, Tia. It's so it's so weird how many times I've heard different types of his name being pronounced, but I've always just pronounced him Tyr. Okay, it's just easier, and it just sounds badass, does it not? I mean, Tyr. So those are the first 8, and I hope they helped. But I'm going to go ahead and I want to go through the pronunciation of these all together for you. So let me take these babies down real quick. Don't mind me. Where's my Isa? Okay. And I'm going to bring this forward so you can see it. All right, refresher, here we go. So, Fei Hu, cattle, money, wealth. Now, one big thing, if you're writing these down, guys, really pay attention to these runes, because look, there's another rune that looks like an F, but does that look like an F as well? So make sure you get that extra lip, okay, when you're actually like writing these out, okay? So wealth, success, power, and biggest one for me, destruction, okay? The next one is Uruz. Oops. Uruz, okay? Uruz is like an anchor in my mind. So it's all about strength and courage, skill, all right? Spiritual process, I guess, and soul shaping. So it's a determination card. You could even use it as initiation, you know, trial. I keep saying trial, but there's actual another card that represents trial. So I try to stay away from that. But hey, you know what? It's your adaptation. It's your way of thinking things, okay? Our next one is Torizaz. So Torizaz, okay? She's actually, God, oh, she's just beautiful. But remember, this is the giant. So picture her and imagine her as a giantess. You know, if you know the history of the realms, this would be a great one for that. So obstacles, difficulties, you can look at it as a protection as well, heroic effort, vanity and pride for sure. Because like I said, think of though Jack and the Beanstalk or James the Giant Peach kind of thing. All right, but it is a spiritual courage card, and it is a protection of the sacred card. So I'll just move that closer. Here you go, Torizaz card. Our next card is Raido or Raitho. It means spiritual journey. It's a journey card. It's a destiny card. You could look at it as a travel card. It's all about journeying on a spiritual level. You can think of a personal destiny kind of level, just moving, getting out, breaking those messed up habits, those bad habits, right? That's what we want. That's what we want to focus on. So journeying, changing, okay? So Raido. Go. All right, so our next one is Kainaz, whichever way you were to pronounce Kainaz. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Kane, like Kane, and then Az, Awze, Az. So as you can tell, it's a torch. So that's the actual identification of it. It is a torch itself. Okay, so it's all about knowledge. It's all about skill, guys. Okay, it's control. Think of it as the fire energy, the fire power. So you can have good healing or you can have painful healing. That is how you want to depict it. You can even look at it on a sexual level, like passion, sexual. All right, you want to look at inner guidance. This is a card too. If you want to look at spiritual illumination, it's a great card. Think of it lighting up things around you. Okay, so Yaz or Yaz. Okay, our next one is one of my other favorites is Isa. Okay, so this is our ice card, guys. So this is our barrier, our frustration card. This is all about obstacles and just being forced to take a rest. It's stillness in school. It's inner stillness. I'm sorry, it's stillness in the soul. Oh, jeez. In the soul itself, guys. Initiation even. It could be another one of those. You can remember, biggest thing, surrender or accept it. I choose to accept it and change and advance and go a different way, or I can surrender and then I'm gonna feel back in my stillness. And you don't want that. You don't want to feel stagnant in anything, okay? So here is Isa, my ice queen. Look how pretty that is. It doesn't really look it, but in this card you can tell that there's ice around it. But, I mean, just look at the freaking hawk. Okay. Our next one is All Yees. All Yees. And yees like a Y, like yees. Okay, it means protection. Remember, this is one of our protection cards. It's our pre-protection, I guess you can say, before a battle kind of card. So it's a sanctuary, it's a friendship, all right? This is a spiritual communication card. Communication with the divine, or even the guardian spirits themselves. Cosmic energy, protecting of that, you know what I mean? It could be its shield. You know what, let's think of it as a shield card, okay? Yeah, I like that. Let's look at a shield card. You know, you're protecting yourself and the spirits around and the energy around, okay? Having faith that, you know, you have the gods to help you transform. So let's go with that one, with all these. All yees. And then my favorite card is Tiwaz. So Tiwaz, this is the victory card. This is the battle card for me, okay? This is the honor. This is the justice. This is that scale, all right? We're looking at the balance, self-sacrifice, all right? Righteousness. Then if you want to look at the spiritual side, we're looking at purity, guys. We're looking at selflessness, okay? So Tiwaz, our victory card. And you'll see this rune a lot on videos, probably more than I'll use, but it's definitely our card. So I hoped this video has helped you, even if it's just a little bit, at least getting you slightly familiar with things. I used to make flashcards of them, and I'd put like the symbol on one side, and then I would go ahead and put like the divination meaning on the back. A lot of people will write with runes because the runes actually do have their own like corresponding letter, which is really cool. And I am going to include my runes that I used them for their meaning to depict me, and I have no idea why I put them in this order. It was just honestly a coincidence, and then come to find out that the runes spelled out a very specific god's name. So it's only fitting, considering one of my dog's name is named after him. So I do believe he's always been with me, which would make sense because he depicts what my life truly is. Pure chaos. And just people don't understand me. So if you can guess who and which god I'm referring to, I won't say he's a trickster, but he will trick you into believing you're comfortable, only to be knocked down the ladder, to realize you're not as comfortable as you thought you were. He makes you work for it too. He's a great god. Very undermined. But if you work with him, he gives you the free reign to do whatever you want. He will be your friend, your best friend. So, if you know who he is, I hope so, maybe pause this video right now. I'll give you 10 seconds. Pause this video right now. Drop his name down, just for fun. Who and which god am I referring to of the Norse side of things? 10 seconds, guys. Going down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Screw it. 3, 2, 1. Okay. It's going to show the clip as soon as I close my mouth here. So I love you all. I can't wait to see you next week for part 2. It'll be another video like this. It's easier for me because I can do it when I can. But I hope you're ready for Norse runes. Look at the calendar. Look at all the calendar for the whole month. Okay? We're going to have some fun. We're going to practice too. So the hangout is a practice time, even for runes. Yes! We're going to have fun. Tarot, oracle, palmistry, pendulums. The sky is the limit, scrying with reflective mirrors, or fire scrying. We're going to have fun. So, until then, I love you all. Blessed be. And I hope you got the answer right to which God is my God.